Good morning. This is Clarisse from Mayfair West. Welcome to my balcony outdoor studio. It's a gorgeous day again. And hi, Mary. First in the studio, as always. Good for you, girl. Looking forward to seeing you this week, Mary, at my Buddha boot camp. Can't wait. We're going to do that outdoor thing, socially distanced. So, good morning. How do you pronounce the name? Rika, Andres. Lovely to have you in my class. So this is a fusion class, and as you can see, I am on my balcony, my outdoor studio. Today we're going to be doing a combination of yoga and Pilates. The Pilates will be toward the latter half of the class, but there's going to be some strength poses which kind of go between yoga and Pilates that are mixed in. For example, some plank work that's very strengthening to the core. The focus of a fusion class is a combination of core strengthening, upper body strengthening, and flexibility so that we have a perfect balance. It's probably one of my favorite kinds of classes to teach because you get a bit of everything and you still feel good and stretched out afterwards like you do after yoga. Who else is here? Laura. Wonderful. Good morning. So we have a few minutes and I just want to show you the props. So I'm going to get out of the way here for a minute. If you can see my setup here and my lovely flowers, by the way, I have arranged my balcony for you. We're going to need a couple of yoga blocks. If you don't have your own set of yoga blocks at home, don't worry, you can grab a couple of Kleenex boxes. You can grab a couple of rolls of paper towel. Now, the only thing that's different when you use those kind of props is that you can't put a lot of body weight on them. You can put your hands on them during some of the stretches in the beginning, and there's no problem with that for those kind of poses. It's just for if you're really weight bearing, like putting it under your hips or whatever, that they'll get a little squished. So, not that it's a danger, but I just wanted to let you know. So if you don't have the blocks, and you want something that's a bit more rigid, you could actually use baby wipe container boxes because they're about the same size and they're rigid. So if you have those, whatever. You also need a couple of large cushions. Okay, now these are like from your sofa or just whatever you have, large cushions, and two of them so that we can pile them up and create kind of a pseudo ball so that we'll do our abdominal work using some pillows. So please gather that couple of blocks. Of course, you're on a yoga mat. I have a towel here. Also, maybe a glass of water close by, and enjoy this weather outside. I hope you guys are able to move outside or at least get in some sunshine, and the rest of the week is going to be stellar. Like I saw the weather forecast this morning and it was incredible for this week. Not a cloud in the sky for the whole week. So anyway, I hope you guys are getting out and walking. I'm doing some outdoor boot camps, maximum of 9 people, socially distanced. If you're interested, drop me a line. Anyway, I'm hoping that we are getting all our equipment together, that you guys are running around. And hi, Linda. Okay, so just to say, again, the props before we start, because some of you are just getting in now. Yoga blocks or substitutes, okay, so Kleenex boxes, paper towel rolls, baby wipe boxes, even shoe boxes actually, if you have rigid shoe boxes. A couple of large cushions, yoga mat, towel, glass of water, all that's standard, of course. So just wanted to give you guys a minute to get that together. Let me just check the time. It's still 2 minutes before 11, so we still have time, okay? So just run and grab 2 large cushions. If you have like patio furniture, sometimes those kind of big cushions are really good for this, as long as they're not really slippery, because you're going to stack them on top of each other. Worst comes to worst, if you have good size pillows on your bed, like you can use those too. They're a little bit smaller, like narrower, but if they're good and thick, you know, grab those. We're just trying to use big pillows so that we elevate ourselves. Hey, Sheila's here. Great. Good to see you again, Mary and Laura, Linda. Have I said hello to everyone? Let me just check here. Okay, awesome. So we still have a couple of minutes before we get started. Just giving you guys a chance. Get your 2 big pillows, get a yoga mat, put it this way, a couple of blocks. I can't put my mat the other way on the balcony, so otherwise I'd be looking at you sideways the whole class. So today we're gonna go this way and be in this gorgeous sunshine. I can't I can't be inside with this weather. I just can't. We've been cooped up inside. This year it feels particularly acute, right? Because I spent more time in my apartment than I ever have since I moved into this place 11 years ago, like just crazy. So really dying to get out into nature and see the weather, the trees, the flowers, and enjoy that, because that's good for the soul, and we all need that. So let's see what time it is. Okay, it's 11. It's time for fusion. Good morning. Mary's here too. Great. Okay, couple of Marys we got in the class today. Let's get started. Okay, we're going to put our yoga blocks on the front end of our mat. Now, you don't have to use them if you don't have anything set up for that. It's not an emergency. There are times that it just makes certain stretches a little easier. And for example, in this one, if you want to have your hands up on your blocks, you can do so. So put your blocks right under your shoulders, going onto all fours. So we're going to start out with the cat-cow, which is a really great warm-up for your core and loosens up your back. So the cow pose, we arch the back. If you've ever seen a cow standing in the field, they kind of have this arched back. So that's what we're trying to replicate. So we're going to inhale with cow, lifting your tailbone in the back, lifting your head. We're going to exhale into angry cat to draw the navel to the spine. So exhale, pull the tummy right up to the back so that you contract your abs. Inhale, lengthen back to cow. Exhale into angry cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale, angry cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale, angry cat. Inhale, cow. Couple more. Exhale, angry cat. Inhale, cow. Last one. Exhale, angry cat. Inhale, cow. Now flexing the spine, let's go backwards into a child pose, but we're not going to stay there. Move back from your blocks a little bit, because we're going to go forward into extension. This is a modified up dog. My knees are down, but otherwise my spine is lengthened and arched up. Inhale, looking up. Let's do this again. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Looking up into up dog. Exhale, back to child's pose. Going forward, inhale, up. Exhale, going back to child's pose. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, up dog. So now your back is moving back and forth. Exhale, and again, these rhythmic movements are to warm up your body, increase the blood flow, increase the joint lubricant fluid as well. Okay, now staying right up here, let's move our blocks aside if we're using them. Take a nice deep breath in, moving forward. As you exhale, bring your hands nice and close and gently lower into a soft chaturanga, which means the knees are down. So it's like a chaturanga that's a little easier to do, and we're warming up. So inhale to up, facing, well, it's actually cobra, and exhale to child pose. So that's our next move of flow. Inhale up on all fours. Exhale, soft chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back. Your spine is undulating, and now we're increasing the workload a little bit here, coming up. As you exhale, soft chaturanga, strengthening your arms and core. Very gently lower the chest before the hips. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, right back to child pose. Once your hips hit your heels, you go forward right away, inhaling back up on all fours. It's a flow, so we're not staying anywhere. Exhale down. We're moving through poses. Inhale. Exhale back to child pose. Coming back up. Inhale. Exhale chaturanga. Inhale cobra. Exhale back. Let's just do that one more time. I do things about 7 times or so. Seems to be a good amount for warming up. Exhale down. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. Now coming back to all fours position. Bring your knees under your hips, curl your toes underneath. Now we're just going to lift your knees off the mat just slightly, engaging your abs. Do you feel those stomach muscles kicking in? Now we're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, move your hips up by pulling your navel to your spine, using your abs to lift your hips. And then we're going to go back down, but not put our knees on the mat, just hover close to the mat. So keep your core engaged, okay? Take a breath. Breathe out and push back. Good. And coming down, bend your knees, tighten the belly, take a breath. Exhale, pressing your sit bones back. Take a breath, coming down. Exhale, pressing back through your heels. Coming down. Pressing your sit bones up. Coming down, almost to the mat, so you're hovering there. Pressing your sit bones back up. Beautiful. Coming down and up. Okay, feeling the core getting more and more involved in the movements. Now let's hold our downward dog and walk the dog. That means alternately pedal your feet. So what you're doing is you're trying to get your heels to make contact with the mat. Very important to wake up the calves, as your feet are what grounds you to the earth. So we need to make sure that those calves are warmed up, loosened up, there's no blockages, so the energy flows freely through your body. Now we're gonna come up on both feet, tippy toe, lift up, take a breath, press your heels into your mat now. Oh, relax your neck, let your head shake out a little bit. Press your palms into the mat, flat and spread out. Arms are strong and straight, but shoulders draw away from your neck toward your hips, which are lifted high in the back. Your sit bones are pointing to the sky. Take another breath, deepen the pose, and continue to breathe. So this is the first pose we've held for any length of time. So we're nice and warmed up. Okay, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, move to a full plank now. Okay, now we're working a little harder. Take another breath. Push your heels back to the mat behind you, drawing your abdominal muscles in nice and tight. Stay strong, keep breathing, hold yourself in plank. Another pose we are holding. And this is a pose for increasing your core strength. So let's think about pulling the navel up into the spine all the time, engaging your abs. Now, take a deep breath. Either drop your knees first or do a full chaturanga now. Gently lower the chest before the hips. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And exhale and hold. Inhale, pull yourself back up. Curl your toes. Exhale, back up into downward dog. Okay, now we're going to bend the knees, both knees, and spring or step to the center of the mat. 1, 2, 3. Now I did a little jump, but you don't have to. You could just step 1 foot at a time. Land with your feet in a parallel position. Drop your hips down. Take a breath and raise your torso. Inhale. Now as you exhale, push back deeper into that squat, and we're going to go up and down into the squats. Here we go. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, press down. Okay, we're getting our quads working now. We're working on the lower body. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, squat deep. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, squat deep. Good. Inhale. Exhale, squat deep. 1 more. Inhale. Now let's hold that chair pose for a moment. Let's challenge ourselves by taking the right foot, crossing it into figure 4 on the chair pose. Now let's do a few squats in figure 4 and chair. We're going to do this. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, squat, and keep your sit bones pressing back on the way down and your knee forward. Inhale again. Exhale, squat. Take your time. Find your balance. Stay focused. Inhale, back. Exhale, squat. Don't let the arms go too low. You want to look up and stay up. Stay tall, okay? Again, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. 1 more on this side. Inhale. And exhale. Now, carefully lower that foot. Cross the other foot. Find your balance. Take a second or two. Don't rush. Sit bones back. Inhale. Exhale. Bend. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Bend. Inhale. Exhale. Bend. Inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale, bend, hold it here. Raise your hands. Holding that just for a second. Very nice. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your foot down. And now let's move into a table pose. So the hands are beside your hips. Widen your feet slightly, turning your toes a little bit and your heels out. Now going into a tabletop position, looking forward at the ground. Knees slightly bent, sit bones back so that your spine is flat. Bend your knees now, pull your palms together out front. Inhale into a back bend. And as you exhale, swan dive down to a forward bend. Now here, we may want to grab the yoga blocks and put them on their skinny end so that they're upright. Shift your weight forward. Now what we're going to do is bend both knees back into that chair pose type squat. So push your hips quite low and press your weight into your heels. Now go forward, rise on your toes, shifting your weight forward, and then go back down into your heels. Continue this movement. I'm going to show you how it looks from the side view here for a second so that you can see that. So here's the squat back in the chair pose, and then we roll the weight forward up onto our toes and back. So what we're trying to do here is really literally shift our weight all the way to the front of the body and then to the back and pull away. Now when you pull back, see how my arms are extended on those blocks? You're going to get a nice stretch in your lats, side of your back. Oh, it feels so good. Rolling up on tiptoe. Make sure your toes are spread and you really feel your feet connecting to your mat. Those nerve endings in your feet, and as you know, there's gazillions of them. We want to have everything awake, stimulated, working for us. Beautiful. Okay. Now, holding that position here, take a deep breath, pull back deeper into the squat, move your blocks or your Kleenex boxes or your paper towel rolls way out and flatten your palms on top so that you literally drop those shoulder blades down. You have a very flat back position there in order to stretch your lats. Enjoy that. Now take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to go forward so that your weight is now more forward over the top of the blocks. Some twists now. We're going to bend your left knee, pull up your right elbow. Inhale. Just remember, I'm a mirror image to you, so don't try to figure out exhale. Just follow the way I'm saying it. So it's your left arm coming up now, and you're bending your right knee. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Let's do that again. As you put your hand down, the leg straightens. So bend the opposite knee to the elbow. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Let's do the other side. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Once again, inhale, lift, exhale, lower, inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Once again, inhale, lift. Do you feel like you're getting a little further every time? I'm hitting my balcony wall, but you can let your arm go all the way straight on the way down. You don't have to do it like I'm doing it on this arm. I'm kind of a little tight here for space, but that's okay. So take it straight down one more time. Inhale. Okay. Exhale. That feels good. So now let's take it to a deeper twist. So you're still going to bend this left knee for me. Take your right hand up and take a deep breath. Now look up at that hand. Push down into the block with the other hand. Reach up as high as you can with this hand here in the air. Reach, reach, reach. Take a deeper breath. Wrap this hand around your back and straighten the left knee. Now shoot back both sit bones. Shift your weight forward like you did. We practiced that, right? Going backward and forward a minute ago. Shift your weight more forward into the balls of the feet here. It's going to give you a better twist. Engage the obliques, the sides of your core, by doing this twist. Okay, take another breath as that arm returns back up to the sky and down to your blocks. Now bend your right knee. Take your left elbow up, take a breath. Look up, reach. Now drive that block down into the mat with your right hand. Reach that left hand up high to the sky. Looking up, feeling that beautiful twist. Now inhale more deeply. Exhale, wrap this arm around your back and straighten out the other knee. Now shift your weight forward and look to your left. You're parallel to the floor, you're like a table, but you're just lifting the chest on that one side. So your sit bones reach back. Good. Keep on breathing. Keep on breathing. Take another breath now, coming back out of the twist. Inhale and exhale and lower back down. Take a breath, look forward, exhale back to squat. Raise your hands back to chair pose. Big breath in and out. In again. Go to table. Come up to back bend. And as you exhale, swan dive down again. And let's move our hands onto the mat, not the blocks. Step back, right foot, left foot, and come to a plank pose. Okay, take a big breath in. Push your heels back behind you, draw your navel to your spine, fully engage your core. And you might want to make sure that your hands are not too far forward. They should be directly under your shoulders, otherwise it's a bit strenuous on the neck, so let's not do that. Now, figure four, you bring the knee to the side. You see my right knee coming up? And down. I'm sliding my toes up the side of my calf until I hit the inside of the knee. Okay, try that. Don't forget to breathe. Pull the knee up, bring it back. Slide your tiptoe up the side of your calf, right to the inside of your knee. Draw in your tummy. So this is where fusion shows its true colors, because it's yoga with a little bit of a kick. So a lot of strength work. It's like power yoga, and we do also flexibility moves as well. So we need both. So continue working in this version of plank with the figure fours. You're tightening your obliques, your sides. So we're really hitting those, which is why we did our twists to warm up. Keep breathing. Let's do two more. Pull up that right foot. Ooh, slide the knee to the side. And let's do one more. And come back. Let your knees come down, and you get a child pose break after your hard work. Take a breath, relax, and sit back for a second. Excellent. Okay, coming up on all fours, step your right foot forward to the front corner of your mat. Move your blocks so that they're on the inside of that foot. Now, if you see here, my foot and my knee are out of my way. They're turned out. This way, I'm going to be able to work more deeply into my hip flexors, have more space to move. So let's take these blocks, shall we? Move your hip forward. Take a nice deep breath. Now move backward and straighten your right leg as you pull your toes up. All right, beautiful. Again, we're gonna go back to some rhythmic flow. Inhale. Exhale, we're warming up your hips now. We're gonna move into your lower body. We're gonna inhale. And we're gonna exhale. We're gonna inhale. We're gonna exhale. We're gonna keep moving forward and back. You know, work at your own pace, work at your own speed. If you're feeling like it's too fast for you, or if you need breaks here and there from the exercises, please feel free to do that. Work at your own pace. I encourage you to listen to your body. If you're not ready to hold the plank as long as we are, don't worry about it. Just do what you can. You're gonna get there. You're gonna keep doing the classes. You're gonna get there. Now let's go forward again into this lunge position. Now we often do lizard pose, which is when we go down to stretch, but today we're gonna do something different. We're gonna do high lunge. Bring your hands up on your hips, please. Now allow your pelvis to soften. So what you're gonna do here is take a breath and let your hip just push forward so that you feel the opening of the hip flexors. Therefore, this leg needs to be kind of out of your way. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is take a deep breath, bringing our hands up in the back. Ready? Inhale. And as you exhale, look up. Drop your neck and shoulders down, but lean back, opening your chest, stretching the hip flexors in that high lunge, looking high, opening up, breathing deeply. And as you exhale, take your palms to your heart. And now we're gonna rotate and put this left elbow on the outside of your right thigh. I want you to lean into this thigh here, okay? Now, shift that elbow past, take a breath. As you exhale, push your left elbow against your right thigh and look over your shoulder. So you're gonna twist and look back. Hold it there. So you're feeling a stretch in the hip flexors. When you twist away from an extended hip, you're gonna stretch your psoas, and that's what we're doing with this one here. So keep breathing, pushing back. Okay, one more breath and release back. Okay, let's go to pigeon pose to stretch your glutes. Say, I promised you we do some flexibility stuff as well, so you get some enjoyment after the hard work. So this foot here, your right foot, we need to walk that across the mat. Let your knee drop down and keep your right hip off the mat. I like to warm up a little for pigeon because my hips are always a bit tight. You don't want to go down too quickly if there's a lot of tightness in your IT band or in your glutes because it could affect your knee. So if you do have any issues with the knee and this pose feels a little shaky, which it can, you need to be careful and put something under your hip. A roll of paper towel will be just fine for this, okay? Even a Kleenex box if it's full. Otherwise it might collapse. So you want to make sure that your hip is up if you're feeling the knee. That's going to take a lot of stress off your knee. Okay, manually adjust this foot here in the front of the mat so it's as far forward as possible. And then take a breath and settle down. You can come onto your elbows, hands in prayer, or to go further, you put your hands all the way out and put your head down. You go right ahead and do that if you want. So let's take nice deep breaths. Now let's do about 5 deep breaths as we always do when we're holding that pose, okay? Relax. Enjoy the feeling of your right hip melting and stretching and relax. Keep holding that pose and breathing. I'm just going to come up to the screen and see who's all here because sometimes I don't get a chance to do that. And I just wanted to say, oh, hi Janine and Carol and Bear. It's great to see you guys. Fantastic. Okay, so you're still holding that pigeon pose. Okay, now we're going to take one more breath, bring our hands up under our shoulders and lift the chest. Curl your toes under on the back foot, the left foot, so it's secure on the mat because we're going to get back up. Curl under the toes, lift the left knee, take a breath and step your right foot back beside your left and start walking the dog, alternately pedaling your feet. Rising up on your toes, take a deep breath in, press your heels down again. Beautiful. So that downward dog. Now, we're not going to stay in it this time. We're going to come forward again. Take a breath, come to a plank, pull your abdominals up to your spine. We're going to do a chaturanga. You can do it with the knees first if you want to make it a little bit easier. Take a breath, full chaturanga or half. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Hold as you exhale. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, back to downward dog. And then just let your knees lightly down and step your left foot forward. So we do that just to get the blood circulating again, that little vinyasa to throw in some movement so that when you stretch again, you're nice and flexible, lithe, and mobile. So let's do that forward and back again. And you're going to do your hips with this one. Notice that my left knee is turned out and my left foot's out of the way so that I can move freely from my hips going forward and back. Blocks can be used in any position you want. You see I'm a little higher up here now with the blocks higher. Whatever you need. Don't worry about conforming to some kind of an ideal. Yoga's not like that. It's non-competitive. It's all about improving your flexibility and your strength, your range of motion, working out blocks in your muscles, getting rid of blocks of energy in your body. So there's a lot going on here, and it's not like you have to conform or try to do it the way I'm doing it. Just do whatever you can as long as you're feeling the beneficial effects and the stretching of the hips here. So let's go back forward again, and we're going to hold this pose, and we're going to do our high lunge again. So if you get your left foot a little bit out of the way and your right knee is back, bring your hands up off your blocks and come on up onto your hips. So here we want to settle in so that we have our hip engaged and stretched out. Now this knee, again, out of your way so that you have space. Bring your arms back, take a breath. As you exhale, reach back, opening your chest and your shoulders, leaning back, feeling that hip flexor stretch in the high lunge. This is the high lunge. Keep opening and lengthening, curving your spine. Remember, in yoga, you don't get into a pose and freeze like a statue. You keep reaching further. You get there and you keep striving to go further and further and further and further. Take a big breath. As you exhale, bring your arms back down. Okay, now we're going to take our elbows in, rotate, put the elbow on the outside of your thigh. Now, take a breath, push into the thigh and move your hip forward as you rotate. So I'm pushing my right hip forward and rotating to my left. As you do this, hopefully you're opening up your soleus. Psoas. Soleus is in your calf. I apologize. My coffee hasn't kicked in yet this morning. Keep looking over your shoulder, stretching your psoas, not soleus. Relax your shoulders down. Okay, let's take another breath. Release from there, and we're going to go to pigeon pose to stretch your glutes. We're going to walk this left foot across the mat, place it down. Have your knee across from your hip. Now that right leg out back, you want to move it back, move it back, move it back. Gently rock your hips side to side. If you have no issues with your knee and your hips are not that tight, you can go right down and relax. But those of you who are feeling your knee, put a block underneath your hip. Don't hurt your knee, please. And continue to gently and gradually ease yourself down. By the way, the blocks could be used here as well, because if you don't want to compress your knee too much, you can sort of support your weight up here. This is a great way of doing pigeon pose and controlling the amount of pressure on the knee in this position. So again, just want you to be careful. Relax, chill into the pose, and put your hands in prayer position. If you wish, let your head go all the way down to the mat. The back leg, the right leg, make sure it's nice and straight, but also cross it over a little bit to your left so that you get a bit more rotation, and that's going to increase the stretch. So we're going to start the Pilates stuff pretty soon. We've already done a little bit of strengthening core work in the center of the class, and now we're going to focus in a little bit more in a minute. So just relax, let that hip melt, enjoy the pigeon pose. It's a great hip stretch for those people who have had any kind of knee injuries from skiing, for example. It's probably like lateral ligament stuff going on. You have to be a little bit careful with these poses, okay? So just warning you. All right. Let's take another breath. This time we're not going to get back up into downward dog. We're going to exhale and just lift ourselves up. Let your hip drop down. Okay. Now let's bring your right leg around. And we're going to get ready for some Pilates. So give your legs a little bit of a shake. Now, if you haven't had a chance to do so yet, you're going to need a couple of large pillows. I'm using the biggest ones I have here. Now, if you don't have anything large, just get a couple of pillows from your bed will do. We want them to be nice and thick, however, because the exercises we're going to do, we're going to try to mimic being on a stability ball or a Bosu, something like that, okay? So let's get our pillows, and we're going to put them behind us to start. So put one and then the other on top of each other. Can you guys see that? How I've got my pillows on the end of my mat. So I'm going to be able to put my legs out here on the mat and sit leaning on these pillows. So get a nice big stack of firm and supportive pillows behind your lower back, but your bum's still on the mat. A sip of water here before we go on. Okay. Leaning into your pillows, as I said, your bum's on the ground, and make sure that you have them nice and firmly against your back so that you are well supported, okay? We're gonna start out with some C scoops. What I'd like you to do is lengthen your back all the way around those pillows so that your spine will be kind of slightly arched in a nice neutral curve. Lean back and take a deep breath. Now when you exhale, press your lower back into the edge of the pillows, curve up, but don't leave the pillows. Once you get about here, if you went any further, your lower back would leave the pillow, so don't go any further than that. Inhale and go back. Let's try a few of those, okay? Here we go. Exhale, that's one. Curve like a letter C. Inhale back. And that's two. Inhale back. And three. Scooping the navel. Inhale. And four. Working on the abdominals. Make them flat as you work. Exhale. Five. Drawing the navel in as you come up. And six. Exhale. Inhale. And seven. Inhale. And eight. I love having that sun filtering through the willow trees in my eyes. 9. Such a gorgeous day and cool. 10. Perfect for a walk today. 11. Keep going. We're going to do 20. There's 12. inhale, 13, inhale, 14, inhale, 15, keep going, 16, want to make sure you fatigue your abs, 17, push your back into that set of pillows, 18, might not be as hard as on the Bosu, 19, but we're trying to fake it, right, to make it hard, and 20, so take a breath and relax for a second. Okay, bend your right knee up and put your right hand down. Now, if you can't reach the floor easily or you feel like you need more support, you can take one of your Kleenex boxes, paper towel rolls, yoga blocks, and put it beside you. I always like to, because that way I don't have to worry about my elbow. It's kind of relaxed, I'm leaning there. So again, make sure you're real close to those pillows. Take your other elbow, your left elbow back, high flowers, inhale, and exhale, uncross, don't let your back leave the pillow. Inhale, going back. We're gonna do 10 like this, and then 10 with the leg extending in and out. So we're gonna up the challenge a little bit as we continue. Now, if your pillows slide back or move around, you know, if there's slippery fabric or something, then you wanna make sure that they're still against you. Pull them back in, adjust them as needed. So if you need to take a break and just go like this, pull your pillows back in. Do that so you make sure that they're staying in place, okay? I just adjusted mine and it's much better. You want that firm support in your back. Open that elbow wide, look to the side, exhale across and back. Now we're gonna add, for the second half of this set, the knee coming in and extending out, but you don't put it down on the floor, it floats, okay? Exhale, inhale. That's 3, and stretch it out. And 4, think of your armpit meeting your knee. And 5, don't let your lower back leave the pillows. 6, and 7. Now, if any of you had a Bosu at home, or even a Pilates ball, 8, you could be using that, of course, because we're trying to use home props to mimic those Pilates toys we use at the gym. Okay, good. Relax. Move your block, change. So the first set, we leave the knee here, and we learn to establish the proper movement pattern with our waist, twisting at the core, and then we add the leg to increase the challenge to the core. But first, our brain has to learn the proper movement. By imprinting that movement a few times, you'll get the hang of it and you'll have a better workout. So let's inhale back, exhale across armpit to the knee. Inhale back, exhale. Inhale back, and exhale. Inhale back, and exhale. Good. Here's 5. Widen the armpit as you go back. Here's 6. Press your back into the cushion. 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. Now take your knee up. Ready? 1. Inhale. 2. Exhale. Inhale. 3. Exhale. Inhale. Now don't go forward. Go across. 5. Look from one wall to the other. 6. Go across. And 7. Elbow wide. Armpit leading the way. And 8. And 9. So comfy on the lower back, right? Those pillows. 10. Good job. Certainly takes a lot of stress off the back doing it this way rather than just lying on a hard yoga mat, right? Let's take a breath and just have a quick stretch here before we move on. Give your hamstrings a little stretch, your lower back. Catch your breath. There's more coming. All right. So we're gonna now change our position so that we work our oblique. I'm gonna go on my side to show you this one. So your 2 pillows are still stacked up. What we want to do is get right on them like we're doing this on a Bosu. If you've done the Pilates with the Bosu, which is a tough class, you'll remember this one. And we also do this on large stability balls with our feet on the wall sometimes. So come on up, put your hip on the top of the pillows, stack them up so that you are right on top. Bottom leg at one end of the mat, top leg at the other. So your feet are as wide as your yoga mat. Now you've got to move your torso forward off the pillow so that you have enough of you free to move and lift. Otherwise, you don't get a good workout. We're trying to hit these here, obliques. So let's get right up. Now your top arm is at your temple, and your bottom hand, you want to just put it around your shoulder and not touch the pillows with that bottom elbow. Keep this out of the way. We're going to go over the pillows all the way down. Inhale, and then we're going to exhale and lift from our waist. You have to find the right position. Just find the right position that you're balanced. Okay, here we go. Inhale down, exhale lift. Push your bottom hip into the pillows. Exhale lift. Here's 3. Exhale lift. Here's 4. exhale. Here's 5. Keep that elbow pointed straight to the sky. And 6. Exhale. And 7. Breathe out. Keep going to 20, okay? 8. Exhale. And 9. And 10. Now keep your head back so that you're in a nice straight line through your spine. 10 more. 9 more. Watch your bottom elbow. You're not pushing off the pillow. That's cheating. That's 8. And 7. Make these oblique muscles do all the work. And 6. And 5. And 4. 3. 2. And 1. And relax and stretch. Ooh, that feels so good. And come on up and over to the other side. Okay, so we're going to flip on your waist. Take your time to get the position right with the cushions so that you are able to get a good workout. So for me, with these big square pillows, I come up and I put my waistband of my pants right in the center of the pillows. I put my bottom leg at one edge of the mat, top leg on the other, and roll right onto your side. Okay, so again, take a second to get the position right. Top hand up at the top of your temple or your ear. Your bottom hand is at your shoulder and not touching the pillow. Go around and over the side of the pillow. Inhale, exhale, lift, keeping a straight line. And that's 2. Exhale on your way up. Inhale on your way down. And 3. Let's get into a groove and keep going. And 4. Tip your head back and keep a straight line. 5. With your spine. And 6. Exhale on the way up. And 7. And 8. Are you feeling those external obliques? I'm feeling mine. And 9. I love working those because when they're nice and tight. 10. I feel like my pants do up easier. 10 more. My jeans especially. 9 more. Exhale. 8 more. Don't forget about that breathing. 7 more. Inhale down. 6 more. Inhale back. 5 more. 4 more. 3. 2. And 1. And relax and stretch. There are numerous ways of doing that exercise, numerous props, and sometimes we even do it with a glider in one hand. So there's many different ways of working those obliques, really important. Going to change our position now. We're going to move the pillows forward on your mat so that you can lie down and put your butt on the pillows. This is going to elevate your hips, and from here we're going to be working in a slope doing some lower ab stuff. So this is going to be great and very comfortable, I'm sure you'll find. And I may actually turn around here and there so that you can see both sides of me. But right now I want you to see how we position ourselves. So you're going to move those cushions forward. Sit right on top of them. Here's where it gets fun. We're going to lie back, bring your head and shoulders to the floor, keep your butt up on the pillows. Here we go. Come on down. Roll down, roll down, roll down. Okay. Bring your legs up. Now you're on a slope. Your back should be neutral. That means that there's no change in the natural position of the spine. You may be slightly extended, which is fine. Now, let your knees join together. Take a breath and move the feet down, bent. Touch the tiptoes to the floor and return. If that's too low for you to go, don't worry. Don't bring the knees high, though. You're going to exhale as you go down. Use your lower abs to stabilize. Bring your knees up and stop them above the hips. So they don't come into your chest, please, because then your spine will move, and you don't want that. You want your spine still. This exercise is stabilization of the pelvis using the lower abdominals. So exhale, going down. I'm counting. Don't worry, that was 4. Take your time. Here's 5. Exhale. Now, if you're finding this is too hard in your back, you can do this. 6. You can do it one leg at a time. 7. Or 2 by 2, which is harder, okay? And 8. And 9. Exhale down. And 10. Let's breathe and do another 10. Keep going. I'm going to switch my position so you can see me from the other side, okay? So keep going. 9 more. 8 more. 7 more. 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and 1, and relax. Good. Use 20 repetitions. Your knees are at 90 degrees. Now, make sure that you're high enough on your pillows. Some of you might be using narrower pillows from your bed, which is fine. Just make sure they're on top of each other and they're high enough. Bring your knees back. We're going to take one leg up in the air and the other leg parallel to the floor. So you're in like a vertical line with the top leg, horizontal line with the bottom leg. And switch. Hold for 2. Switch. Now this is a version of the single leg stretch, but we're not grabbing the feet and pulling them because we're on a pillow pile, and that changes the exercise. As you know, I'm a big proponent of using props for Pilates so that we challenge our bodies a little bit with varying levels and, you know, resistance levels as well. So there's a lot of challenge to using the props. Keep breathing. You can also do this without the pillows, just flat on your back if you prefer. Not a problem. It's a bit more challenging up here, I think. Okay. Now, let's just do 4 more of those. Scissor, and scissor, and scissor, and relax. Bring your knees in. While you're resting, you can let your knees fall to your hips so that your lower back actually does bend for a minute, and you stretch it a little bit by having your knees fall to your shoulders. I don't know if you can see that well from where you are, but I hope you can. Now the knees are going to be at 90 degrees one more time, and this time we're going to do a forward bicycle. So you want one leg to go out and the other leg to be at 90 degrees above the hips, and switch. Let's go. And 1. Keep going. And 2. Keep going. And 3. One leg exchanges for the other. 4, and the knee stops above the hip. And 5. This is actually a really important point, that you don't bring the other knee in too close. 6. It makes the exercise way more effective. 7, because if you bring your knee in, you make it too easy. 8, by folding your spine. Here, 9, your abs are working to stabilize the pelvis. 10 more. Keep that slow pedaling going. One knee bent, one leg straight. Keep going. I'm going to flip over for the next exercise. You keep going, okay? You got 6 more to go. 5 more. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more, and relax and bring your knees in. Okay. Now I am a little ahead of you here because I would like you to have a quick deep breath in and out, and then roll over onto your tummy and have a look how I am positioned. So this big stack of pillows is going to go under your hips, and we're going to do our back extensions. So I've got my pillows under my hips. I do have my knees touching the mat. This is more challenging. Hands on the lower back placed together is easier. You decide which you want to do. So we're going to come down, look down to the floor, and exhale. We're going to inhale and lift your chest with your back muscles, and exhale down. Okay, here we go. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now if you get tired, you can move your hands to your back if you haven't already done that. That's 4, and 5, and 6, 7, 8, inhale up, exhale down. 9, your hip bones pressing into the pillow. 10, you can put your hands down here now if you want. If you do it this way with your arms behind you, keep the arms straight and squeeze the shoulder blades back. Slide the hands down your bum. It's actually a really good version of this exercise because it brings your upper back into it a little bit, so you can try it. And this is 6, inhale, 16, 7, 8, 18, 9, and 20, and relax. Put your elbows down. Okay, good. So we're gonna go back to a little yoga pose to finish the class today. Come on up into a cobra for a minute. You can bring your hands up on the pillows if you want to go higher. Oh, that feels good. So let's move back. Now, the final pose here, we'll use our yoga blocks. And if you want to, you can put a towel under your head, which makes this a little bit more comfortable so that your head's not lower than your knees. But I'm going to put myself this way so you can see. This is a deep twist, and it's a wonderful sort of a self-chiropractic adjustment. It fixes your back. I find it's very effective. So this configuration of blocks or Kleenex boxes on the mat beside you so that your knee can rest on them. Now, you don't want them up too high because this knee should be straight ahead from the hip, not too high, so it's perpendicular to your torso. Bottom leg straight and lying down. You can put your your towel under your head here if you want to. Now, take your bottom hand and fix that knee onto the blocks. We want to keep that knee down. Take the other arm up, take a deep breath, and open into a wonderful twist to stretch your chest and your shoulders, which you use doing planks and chaturangas. You use that a lot. Also, you're stretching your obliques, which we also worked a lot, those waist muscles, and your lower back, deep muscles in the lower back. Keep the knee on the block so that you really feel the nice twist. Having the blocks here or the Kleenex boxes makes your hips vertically stacked one over the other, and that's the best position to be in for this. Okay, relax and stretch. So good. I always feel better after I do this stretch. I feel like my back moves more easily. I don't have that stiffness, and sometimes I have in the morning that lower back stiffness. Okay, let's come back and flip over to the other side. I'm just going to turn myself. You guys can move your blocks over, whatever you want. I just want to show the other perspective on this. These are going to be in my way now. Okay, my little skinny balcony here. Put one block in front of the other. Put your knees on top. Bottom leg straight. Hold that knee in place with your bottom hand. Top arm is up. Take a breath. Open the arm to the side and let it fall. Literally let it fall to the ground so that you open your chest and your shoulder. Keep the bottom leg reaching down straight. Keep the knee on the blocks firmly pressed down. The arm can be outstretched to the side or even a little higher if you want to get a bit more stretch. Now you want to feel that in the shoulder, the chest and the shoulder, because you use those. Also through your waistline, through your obliques, and into the muscles in the lower back. So very, very important stretch. You might even feel a bit on your hip. Take another nice deep breath. Now, we're going to take your hand off that knee. We're going to return that knee to the center. Hold the back of that one leg and roll up to sitting position. Okay, I am moving back up here close to the camera for a minute. Should get my glasses. Okay. Before we say goodbye, just relax your neck. Do a half circle, only in front. Only in front. Relax your neck. And bring your head back up. High, sitting tall, sit bones both down on the ground. Big breath. Palms connect above the head. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. Mwah. Wonderful to work out with you outdoors today, and I hope you have a wonderful week. I'm just going to check comments if there are any questions. Oh, yes, Mary, you could have used a ball there. Yeah, you could have. Oh, Linda, okay, yeah, just private message me or email me, which is best. Clarisse Bevelander, you know how my name is spelled, @gmail.com. It's all lowercase and there's no spots or spaces or anything. And reach out to me and I'll give you more details if you're interested, because yeah, we got to get outside. And I really miss you guys. I can't wait that we're going to be all back at Mayfair West one of these days soon, working out together. But in the meantime, let's enjoy this weather and keep our connection strong and alive and keep the workouts up. Okay, so thank you very much for joining. Again, email me, clarissebevelander@gmail.com. If you have questions about the class, if you have concerns about issues that you may have in your body, I'm very happy to discuss it with you. And it's easier to email me, so just go right ahead. Okay, and wonderful to have you here today, guys. Again, just wanted to say thank you to everyone who participated, and have a great week. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy this weather, and I will see you next Monday morning as usual. Okay, mwah. Thank you. Have a great day. Hope to talk to you real soon. Bye now.